All right. Well, welcome to the first episode of The Den, brought to you by the Knox Real Estate Group. This is going to be a podcast geared towards all things housing and our growing community in the greater Knoxville area. Who am I? Who am I with? And why does it matter? I'm Eric Weiner, broker owner of the Knox Real Estate Group, and joining me today is none other than the one and only Teri Jo Fox.
Yay!
Teri Jo is the lead agent in our office. She is consistently in the top 1% of agents in our market, and she is my wife and business partner.
Winning.
That's right. That's right. We are a dream team. Um, Teri Jo and I have been working together now for
Almost 10 years.
almost 10 years.
Hmm.
So sold a lot of houses in that time.
Yes, we have.
And so, anyways, the reason why that's important is, I believe as somebody who does a lot of research, who's constantly in the real estate news, just seeing what information is out there, I've realized that there is a lot of stuff out there that doesn't pertain to our market. There's a lot of information out there that is confusing. I think for the person who is possibly looking to buy or
Your
sell a house.
typical consumer is definitely going to see the media and be attracted to hearing that, but it does not necessarily pertain to our current market or our state.
That's true. I mean, and the fact of the matter is most of the stats that get put out, most of it's old news. A lot of the
Yeah.
stats that they report on, I mean, there's things that happened 6 months ago, and by then the market's already changed. And I think the biggest question on most people's minds are, is now a good time to buy? Is now a good time to sell?
It
And then
is.
it, and what that looks like for them.
Hmm.
So anyway, so some of the stuff we'll be covering are going to be things like market stats, more relative, up to date market stats.
Just an FYI, that will be all Eric because he is that analytical person who loves to research.
Yeah. So definitely, and here's the thing, we could talk about market stats, but I think the real thing to get to is, what does that mean? What do the stats mean for a buyer or seller in today's market? And then obviously, like interest rates,
Hmm.
that's been a hot topic lately because we've seen interest rates literally double over the last couple of years, and now they seem to be making their slow descent down to what a lot of people call normalcy.
And that again is going to come down to those are ever changing. So we like to keep an eye on those because that's how we are able to advise our potential clients, the consumer, the market, anything and everything, as well as our clients.
And I think it comes back to that whole, is now a good time to buy or not? A lot of people, um, and we'll get into this more in later shows, but a lot of people sat on the fence because interest rates went up. And now, granted, when interest rates go up, affordability becomes more of a factor.
Hmm.
But at that moment, when interest rates literally shot up, was probably one of the better times for a buyer to actually buy a home,
Hmm.
because homes for a minute, homes were sitting on the market a little longer. Sellers were a little bit more negotiable, and now as we see rates are coming down, like we all sort of assumed they would, those people that bought at that period of time now have the ability to refinance and get a lower payment, and we're able to get a house in probably more favorable terms. So there's just a lot of things like that we'll talk about in more detail. Other things we're going to talk about: maintenance, repairs. Like, I've got a great list of vendors that
We
we've
do.
that we've just acquired over the years. Um,
And people that we have trusted with so many of our clients, and our clients have come back to us and said, you know what, we are so appreciative because you gave us somebody who was not going to price gouge us, somebody who actually like cared about what they were doing, not somebody who just wanted to see the price tag go up. And people that follow up, people, I mean, and those are people that we have trusted with our clients, but also in our own homes. So we always tell people, if you need anybody for a home, please reach out to us first. Even if you don't use them, I want to just provide you with the introduction so that we know that you potentially are being taken care of by somebody that I trust, we trust.
yeah, yeah, for sure. So and not only that, but also to talk about stuff like you own a home with a crawl space, right?
Yeah.
Like, what should you be doing or looking out for to make sure that that crawl space doesn't one day turn into
A
a
soggy
problem?
mess.
Yeah,
A
I mean,
soggy mess.
soggy mess.
So, and that is a place that we don't necessarily go to on a regular basis. And I do advise our clients when we're getting ready to list or when they're purchasing, if they do have an attic, more than likely, or a crawl space, get in it at least every 6 months or annually, just so you know what's going on in there. Because unexpected surprises don't just take place, right away. I mean, and if you leave them alone,
They take time.
I mean, it literally can be devastating to a home. Like if your gutters, things like that. You
Yeah.
got to make sure you maintain a home. And if you are a first-time home buyer or potentially somebody who's owned several homes, but you just can't necessarily do that, then that is important. So always reach out to us.
Yeah, so obviously the goal is that we're gonna have people come on here. We
Mhm.
want to talk about what to expect, what to look out for, and at the end of the day, what I think we've found over the years is pretty much everything's fixable.
Mhm.
Obviously, there's a price tag associated with a lot of that, but everything's fixable, and a lot of it sounds scarier than it is. And so we're gonna dive into that stuff. Um, Lenders, my goal is to have various loan originators on this show so that we can talk about all the different products.
Mhm.
I mean, man, a lot of people still think you need 20% down to buy a house. A lot of people think that, that the house has to be, perfect in order to get a mortgage. There's a lot of misconceptions out there, and then there's a lot of programs that people just don't know about.
Mhm.
So I think that's going to be an exciting
That'll
topic.
be exciting for people to actually hear firsthand from all of them because they are the professionals in that field.
Yeah, they are. And also like, what do you need to be as far as prepared? Unfortunately, a lot of people who decide to buy a house, they start by looking at houses. They
Mhm.
start by getting excited, obviously, about the home buying, the new home, and then normally end up finding out later or last minute like what they need to do in order to buy it.
Mhm.
And my goal with this is to hopefully prepare people so that they have a path to work down, and be prepared for that process. Some other things we're going to talk about, man, are community news. What's going on in the area? Some of our favorite places to eat, shopping, entertainment, and events. So with that, speaking of events, Terry Joe, I understand you have a big event coming up soon.
I am the president-elect for the Rotary Club of Farragut, which I am honored to be, so thank you very much for that. And I am also honored to be able to serve in our community. So, what Rotary does, among many other things, is service above self. And we do service projects throughout the year. And on March 6th, from 1 to 4, we are actually doing a fundraising golf tournament at Top Golf. And that is going to be a fundraiser to help us build the funds to actually serve into these service projects. So, for instance, one of ours is Sleep in Heavenly Peace. This is a organization that was started by a gentleman here. So there is a chapter here. His name is Bill Thompson, and he is. This is going to be our third annual one where we actually build beds for children that don't have beds.
So it's hard to imagine. I know for a lot
I
of us
know.
that there are currently children that don't have an actual bed to sleep on, and I believe their motto is like no child. How's it go? No child sleep on the floor.
I
They
don't.
they they don't want children sleeping on the floor.
None.
Obviously, none
None.
of us do.
So,
Um,
and then last year we built 34 beds.
yeah,
In a matter of a Saturday morning, it was between like 8 and 12, but 34 beds. And our goal this year is to build 50. I would
that's awesome.
love to build 50 beds for children in need. And that does cost money. So we are trying to obviously get as many golfers as possible for Top Golf tournament. If you are not interested in being in the golf, blah, 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 blah. if you are not interested in actually golfing and participating in that, we do accept donations as well, but you can also just come and observe. So there are still sponsorships available, and we really would love for our community to come together. But we also can help build. If you are not in Rotary and you just want to bring out your children or your family or something to help build, please contact us and we can actually align you up with that.
Maybe even a good time for some of these college kids or high school kids that need some service hours.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really cool thing to watch last year and the year before when I mean, basically it's like a production line
Yeah.
building. Everybody kind of gets a tasks, and we work. It's all lumber. It's pretty much all
Yep.
lumber. It has to be cut. It has to be sanded down. It has to be prepped, because then they actually take these pieces and go to the house and physically make. They put the bed together
Hmm.
in the house,
Yeah.
which is pretty awesome. But then, speaking of Top Golf and the tournament, so if you haven't been to Top Golf, it's awesome. So this is a great time if you haven't been. It's a cool place to go. Got great food.
Oh, speaking of food, we will have for all of our golfers, we will have food that is being sponsored by his security. And we also have, we're going to have 2 drinks per golfer. Still need the sponsor for that, but it's okay. And if you're interested on how much a bed actually costs, it's $250.
$250 a bed. So
250, and that includes all of the lumber, that includes the mattress and the bedding,
wow,
which is such a steal for just making such a huge impact and difference in these children's lives.
for sure.
And how many people, how many children do we actually impact, and they are going to impact later on in their lives? So, but that is our current project, but we have so many more that I will come back after this one and help you guys, know more about those.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I just want to touch a little bit more on Top Golf,
Yeah.
because I mean that's the event. That's what you
Yep.
want people to come out to.
It's going to be so much fun. We're going to have a hole in one. And I mean, and Mark over there at Top Golf has been so supportive of Rotary and community. And
And who's Mark?
Mark is the manager at Top Golf.
Okay. Okay.
And he has been, like I said, very supportive of us at Rotary, but he's also very supportive, and Top Golf themselves are very supportive of communities being fundraising there. So I've never done one, I've never experienced one, but I am excited to actually really be there and be a part of it.
So for anybody who hasn't been to Top Golf, here's the thing. Number one, it's kind of like bowling in a way. Like you get like
Yeah.
a lane, right? You're in a spot. It's a group activity, so you can have. I think it's up to is it six
6 people
people
on a team.
on a team. So you're like in a bay. They supply you with golf clubs, right? And you can be of any skill level. Like you can have never swung a golf club in your life,
We we
and
we took our nieces who are uh, 4 and 6 currently, and they played, and it was just so cute. I mean, getting out there and helping them, and Top Golf has the clubs for the children as well.
and here's the thing too. Like I know right now it's pretty cold outside, but their bays are heated.
Yes, very good heat.
Yeah.
Like, I
So
mean, it blows down on you when you're actually swinging, and it also when you're sitting at the tables, and then on the backside if you're observing. So it'll be,
so I
yeah.
mean, there's really something for everybody. This is a great opportunity, a fun event to go to, that basically will raise money for a wonderful cause, for Rotary to do this service project, which is going to help get kids off the floor. I mean, put them in beds. That's awesome.
Yeah, and and a lot of these children that we are speaking of in regards to getting these beds are children that potentially just came out of foster or going into foster, as well as children that are living with grandparents, great grandparents, and even great great grandparents. So it's children that, if they just get a little love on them, could potentially just, that could change their lives.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Well, that's awesome. I hope we have a great turnout for that event. I know no matter what, we're gonna raise the money needed to make these beds, and it'll be fun, and I I'll be happy to share the results of everything on the show. So, with that being said, I think we're gonna wrap up to our first episode.
Well, we're going to say one more thing.
Oh,
So, today is our first podcast. This is something that my husband, Eric, has actually been working on with Drew. Andrew, who helps us with all of our media at our office at the Knox Fox Real Estate Group. And I want to send a special happy birthday to my husband,
oh my
who
goodness.
is my favorite person in this whole world. He is my gym. He is everything that I could imagine.
Oh, don't get too mushy on me
I
now.
know, right? So I just want to wish him a happy birthday because he deserves it. And I am so honored to be his partner as well as his wife.
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome, sweetheart.
All right. Well, with that, we will end on that note. Everybody have a great day.